coming to you. It's the Mead for Metal podcast.
Who's that?
Farts.
Who is that?
Whoa.
It's good to be live.
Jerry Cantrell don't do a bad song.
I had to think for a second. Because usually when people say that, the first time I'm trying, like, I'll prove you wrong.
I'm here to kick you in the balls.
What song did he do that sucked?
That was Jerry Cantrell. Shit.
That was indeed. Got a new album. Got a new solo album coming out.
Yeah, this is the second single of that one, and both of them. So, goddamn, look at this shit. That's what both of them do right now. I look like I'm fully erect.
Yes, I was about to say, Kev's showing us his...
The hairs on my arms, I should say.
Kevin has goosebumps.
Kev's showing us his rock boner.
This sounds like a guy that does our metal segment every week with us this time.
Yeah, who's this asshole?
What the hell's going on?
No, it's Krista. We just have AI changing her voice.
Yeah, she's been taking a lot of these supplements.
Deep fake. LJ, man, it's been a while since we had you live on the show.
Years, I would say, yeah.
Literally before the
Hell's up with
pandemic.
that. Yeah.
Wow. God, man, where'd the fucking time go?
So, yeah, well, that's into, if you're for the uninitiated, which they're like, I don't know. We got what, like people, like 25, 30 people listen regularly every week, no matter what.
Sounds about right.
So if you've ever wondered, man, why do they always throw it to LJ? Well, because LJ lives in a different city.
That's right.
And I catch it, so there you go.
That's right.
He's our countryman, or well, our stateman.
Yes, of the what do idiots call it? The Metroplex or something?
Dallas?
No.
Dallas Fort Worth area? Oh, you mean the Metroplex?
Yeah.
That's what I haven't heard them call it that shit in a long
Good,
time.
because that's a stupid fucking saying. Be like, no, we are two different cities. We are not. We ain't France.
Too small for that shit. Yeah, it's like some Vancouver shit. The Metroplex.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about no plex here? No plex, no flex.
How about Clovis and Portales?
That's
It rolls right off the tongue.
The two-county area.
Exactly.
Ooh, now that's
Sister cities.
That's getting fancy.
And you live in the same one as Ruben, so he's your cityman.
Cityman, yes. Cityman.
Shit, what's been going on with you? I know you work more than anybody I know.
Jesus, man, I've been playing more music than ever.
Yeah,
awesome.
The beginning of the year started out just doing one new song a week, whether it was a cover or an original one, and then an album came out, and I'm like, what the fuck? So working on more shit.
I think as far as like bands that we have played in shows, podcasts, I think we've probably played KBX band more than anybody at this point.
I know. I felt like I was kind of like hogging it all. It's like,
Nah.
Jesus,
Sorry,
what the hell?
We staunch supporters. Pardon me.
We'll as a matter of fact, we'll close out the show today, I think, with one of yours, as a matter of fact. But
Apropos.
Gracias.
yeah, we have a major fucking announcement as far as some gear goes.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
Kevin.
you. Thank you.
Well, don't go to El Rancho. You'll find you're pregnant. Then you got to get rid of it 6 hours later. Know what I mean?
That's the type of pregnancy I'd like to avoid.
This is the last show that we will ever do
Again.
with this Behringer Xenix Q1202 because we're giving it to LJ after the show, and we're going to be that's it. That's it then.
Cue the boys to men.
But if you're thinking this is just another clickbaity thing that we do, you'd be right. We actually have another board. It's already standing by. We're just too stupid to use it right now.
Too
Do the
scared.
applause button and the crowd laughing button.
We'll have that ability.
And that air horn.
Don't
That's the fun.
don't tempt him because he
it's
will
all right.
be able to do that.
The wheels are
Jesus.
already turning.
I can just see it.
We ended up picking up a Tascam model series. This one a 12. They've been around about 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years.
The 12 came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's not a long time ago. So I still feel like we're working with some fairly new gear that is intelligent enough that it does firmware updates and shit like that. Like, oh, fuck me, it's a board.
Hence the
Sponsored by
intimidation.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of. Although it is a little convoluted to try to get a firmware update because you've got to run it through a laptop, chained into the board, and then the laptop will pull it down and then force it through into the board, and there you get your update. It doesn't just get one automatically like you would off of something else. So.
Well, like the Behringer is not a standalone recorder. It has to be plugged into something.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the scrubbers at work.
That motherfucker over there, it is a standalone 4-in-1 monster.
Yeah.
So you could take that on stage. Even.
You could?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Impressive.
absolutely.
Oh, duh, it's a board.
Using
Dude.
it for a podcast is probably like the lowest end thing we can do with that.
Yeah. It's
Aside
like
from using it as a doorstop.
it's like buying a Cybertruck and then driving it around Portales.
That's right.
Oh wait, that's actually a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
I
In
saw
Portales.
there is a
What
Cybertruck in
the
town.
fuck?
There are 2 in Clovis.
Oh shit.
No shit. Oh, I didn't know about that. That was the first
Well,
one I've seen.
Now then again, it was a coworker that does have a tendency of wanting to fucking one up me every time. So
Yeah, I've seen like 5 of those things. Man, it ain't new.
what's the opening of the Olympics? And I had an orgasm. I had 2.
What in
And
the
shit
PS1 hell
myself.
is that vehicle? Anyway, have you seen it? I mean, it looks like it
Yeah.
belongs to like the shittiest PS1 game. You
I
can
saw
think
it parked outside of AutoZone, which automatically made me laugh. It's like, what parts do you need in there for that fucking vehicle that they're gonna have, right?
Stainless steel cleaner.
Where are you gonna take this thing? Like if it pops a tit or something? Like I don't know.
It looks like the assholes at Minecraft made a vehicle, right?
of. Just push it over
Looks-
to Ed's Recycling and just leave it there.
It looks like Elon Musk's chest.
Oh,
Isn't that the
shots
weird,
fired.
Isn't that the weird shit though? Because people are like, "Oh, Elon Musk, he's such a good guy." Ever since he kind of came out on the side that he did politically, and this guy even talking a lot of mad shit about some tech, but it's like you realize you're kind of salting your own ground, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're the EV guy, but you're also the weirdo far out to this side guy.
Yeah, you're the Twitter boy.
I was gonna say, wasn't he responsible for that that little submarine that? Or am I thinking of someone else?
You're thinking of somebody
Okay,
else,
never
but
mind.
but actually, I wouldn't put it past that fucking Bond villain. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you right
Yeah.
now. That
Yeah,
guy's
no
that guy's
kidding.
like fucking Blofeld, really.
That guy's like Dr. Evil,
Yes, he is, except not nearly as witty.
except accidentally evil.
Yeah. Nowhere
not-
near as entertaining.
Not funny, and he fucks a lot because he thinks his genes are special. So he's got like 20 kids, some
That he knows
nonsense.
of.
Just some nonsense.
It's like you're not spreading your seed; you're spreading infection. Go home.
Spreading his weirdness. Ugh, well, he's got a lot of money, so I guess they can all quibble over that,
I
like
guess
Game
it-
of Thrones.
Yeah, but is that sexually transmitted? Being rich? Because if it is, I'll go bang him.
Ask Melania Trump.
Feel
no, that's
free.
bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Clearly not, but I mean, yeah, you never know.
when
She
you
might.
write, you write. When you
Don't
write,
want
you write.
to get too political. So, LJ, what have you been listening to lately? And I'm not asking about new shit. What did you listen to on your drive down today? You had like a half an hour.
I listened to this. In 20 miles, take a left. I'm like,
No music at all.
yeah, I was trying to listen to that so I could find your place. But besides that, I've been listening to bands that are recommended through like Napalm Records and stuff that I'm subscribed to on YouTube.
Yep.
And that's how I've been getting my newer music.
You recommended one to us this year that has been huge. Wheel.
Oh,
That
yeah?
Wheel is that pops up
It's-
every day.
yeah.
Out here, I mean,
I
and
forget.
I threw it on to like 2 playlists that I utilize. That was a hell of a pick. I got
absolutely.
to tell
Damn.
you, yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Those guys,
Absolutely.
and was Narrowhead another one that you had recommended sometime earlier? I don't know, but
think it was. Let me look up something real quick because I actually was getting into stoner metal whenever I was making the Blunt Force album, and there were some bands that were suggested to me, and I added them to my little repeat this shit playlist.
yeah.
And can't remember what they are off the top of my head because I'm a terrible
I'm gonna guess.
memoryist.
I'm gonna guess one is sleep.
Nope.
Sleep
Damn.
Token.
No,
That's probably it right there. That sounds
that
like
is
what it
not stoner music at all.
Oh, I thought you meant you had
Oh,
to
wait,
be
no,
really
never
stoned to enjoy it.
I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Well,
Nuts.
okay, for that aspect,
Okay.
yeah.
I am
you know.
slow. All right, let's see how.
Let's see. Yob.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
oh no, we're getting bleeps and
Damn
Cardinal
Jesus
set.
Christ. Can't figure it out. I'll figure it out later.
And then let's see, Stoner Doom like down.
And I've kind of gone a different direction. I've gotten a lot heavier this year, and I didn't see that fucking coming.
Yeah, that's
Pale
Siamese.
Summit.
Pale Summit and Siamese.
Pale Summit.
Siamese.
Pale Summit is a German band, and there is nothing bad they do. But what the fuck? But yet nobody's heard of them.
German metal sounds badass,
Because again, they're
man.
German. This is not doom. This is straight metal. I mean,
That's just riff supreme.
yeah.
Hell yeah! There's a lot of thrash coming out too. I've been
High
doing a
on
lot of that.
Fire is another one I've really been into this year that I didn't see
You're
coming.
welcome.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
shit,
was
yeah.
directly from Brandon. Caligula's Horse. That was another one that you'd recommended earlier in the year.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Our first podcast, I think, of 2024.
Tits.
And so that's another one I ended up picking up. Yeah, there's been a lot of really good metal coming out this year, which is only weird to me to hear people saying, "Nah, 24 ain't all that great," because 23 was amazing.
24 in music has been kicking ass.
You
I'm
need
surprised.
you need to look a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the obscure shit that's out there needs to be listened to, and Pale Summit would be one of those, I would say. But
And I listened to a lot of bands that I didn't even think I'd even experience. Like I've been getting into Doom, like I told you before we started the podcast, and I mean, it's kind of in that stoner metal sort of it's like neighbors with stoner metal. So I thought it was kind of cool.
I would say, if you're going to go that way, the best primer, because it was the one I cut my teeth on, was Paul Bearer, Foundations of Burden. Came out in 2013 or 14.
14, yeah. Just
That's a
acceptance.
10-year-old fucking album.
Yep.
I just got blown away by that because it feels like it was a couple of years ago. Like 10 of them, 10 years ago.
I remember you guys would mention Moon Sorrow a lot too. I haven't checked out a lot of them.
That's folk metal, dude. That's,
Jesus Christ, never mind.
that's blackened folk metal. Is what
I'm gonna
Moon Sorrow
listen
is.
to that. Yeah,
That's
wrong genre.
mighty, mighty heavy.
Dipsy.
Not bad,
Yeah.
but mighty.
Not bad, not updated either. It's been a while.
Now, what is bad that we need to get into right now?
Let's get into some
Ooh,
shit,
all right.
gentlemen.
Yes. Bring
We
the rage.
we
Let's do it.
almost
For the
listened
world.
to the full brand new record by Winter Sun.
Many
cool
years
name.
ago, we did a
No-
podcast about this very subject.
It dropped last Friday, and we listened to it last Friday night. And it wasn't completely dog shit. There we go. There it is. That's my positive review.
Now, if this album had come out in the time frame it was promised,
Sure.
what would your opinion have been then?
I would have a little bit of an issue with once you get past the intro, it kind of drops off. It's actually more reminiscent of their first album.
Winter Madness, yep.
But man, there was one, and the reason I say we listened to almost all of it, there was one track that was just needlessly droning on and on and on, and it was like 9 minutes long, and I saw no changes coming. We got 5 minutes in. I said, "Well, fuck this. We got to bump it and move on." Brandon's like, "Well, that's a statement right there."
Yeah.
Places to go and people to do, right?
Now
That
that
is-
was the only, of course, that was the only one that I'd bumped. If I had to give that thing a rating of on a scale of 1 to 10, I give Winter Sun's Time 2 like a 6.5. It's a positive review.
Yeah.
It should be a 9, but it's
Right.
not because fucking Yari Menopause can't get out of his own way. That man, you've cut records. You know this. You know that certain things have to own certain ranges.
Right.
Don't fill the mids. Keep the mids as open as you can because that's where vocals and fucking solos go.
Yeah. I'm still experimenting with that. but I see what you mean.
This guy crams everything into the mids, so you got like 4 things going on right through the mids, and you can't make heads or tails of anything.
Oh, Jesus. Shit.
Yeah.
And he's
Guitar
the-
work on it, though, really good. But that was to be expected.
Well, it better be because
Yeah.
that guy used to be the lead guitar player for Insaphirum way back in the day.
Now, if you want to hear him play guitar, you better buy an album. That dude ain't playing guitar live.
Yeah, he's-
Got to be a 5-piece when Winter Sun tours on this bitch.
Which they will never do.
It'll never happen.
They're fucking drummers in Nightwing.
Nightwish.
Nightwish.
Always Nightwing.
It's always because I always when I'm getting ready to say it, I always auto-correct my brain and go, "Wait a minute, I'm always wrong."
It's a
Let's-
Batman character.
So yeah, Nightwish. And Nightwing's a metal band too. They're out of like Ontario. Or
That'd
something.
be a
like,
cool band name,
like
though.
KN Nightwing.
No, it's spelled like
That was my
go to what is it, the Metal Encyclopedium or whatever. the hell it is.
Encyclopedia Metallium.
There it is. Yeah, there's a fucking lot of bands with Night in their name. But yeah, Nightwish. That's where I don't remember his last name. Kai is his first name.
I was about to say Kai Huto.
It-
I was
it's
going to say
similar.
That's
Caillou
pretty
for some
close.
reason.
It's Kai. It is. It's similar.
Yeah. I don't know why it's like his last name is a Moon Sorrow
The
song.
guitar player is touring with fucking Megadeth. Yeah, I don't think he's going to give that shit up to go tour
Yeah.
Northern European
He's getting a ride on
festivals.
the new Megadeth out. Why go back to the Winter Sun and do anything?
And I'm just saying right now, that band will never tour in support of this record unless Yari goes out and hires a bunch of fucking Finnish musicians nobody's ever heard of.
Some 8-piece
Session
band.
musicians that just can play their shit forwards and backwards.
Well, I'm sure you can probably just go through Helsinki and go, hey, I got some Wiener sausages. Anybody want to play
Guitarist,
the
free
band?
beer.
Check out
Imagine
my
that shit.
golden sauna.
I'm gonna give you a golden shower if you're. Yeah, it's a golden sauna. That's right.
Well, probably a lot of golden
Sauna,
showers.
stands there in it.
They're a little different, right?
Paid for by the good fans of Winter Sun.
If this one actually, because and word of us really lambasting them a few years ago, that one's like our second most listened to podcast because their fan base kind of got a hold of it, like all 20 of them, and holy fuck.
To the point we did 2 more after that, too.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we might have to have Yari's photo on this fucking cover. I would hate to, but
Potentially. Might have to
I
have
feel
it.
like that's real
Rage
clickbait.
bait them into watching
It
the
is-
video. There
It
you
is
go.
rage bait.
Oh, well, yeah, we can get blocked on Facebook again.
So you've been, I mean, everybody knows you're a guitar player. You've been playing a lot of bass.
Yeah,
How's that going?
it's going pretty good. I didn't know I was this good at bass, actually. Still good at guitar, but I mean,
If you have a solid grasp of music theory
Mm-hmm.
and how percussion intertwines with the melody and everything else in your brain, if you get it, you'll be a mighty fine bass player.
oh yeah. And it's all like I've been learning a lot of harmony stuff. So whenever I was playing bass along with the guitar, then like I'll try to do stuff with the bass while the guitar's doing like solid. I mean, like when you got a power chord going, doing like individual notes while you're holding the power chord or whatever on the bass, just so it does something different that you can kind of listen to. I'd listened to other bands and noticed that their bassists did shit like that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I find if you're not getting the tone out of 4 strings, add another 8, and I think you're playing with some fucking magic there.
Shit, one of the songs that got me into doing that was "Sweet Child of Mine." Weirdly enough, because just listening to the bass at the intro playing over the slash part, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Dude, I have a little bit of a extreme ability of you can put a YouTube video on that has a running tablature Guitar Hero style, and I'm on bass, and I can play it.
Holy shit! I still have trouble figuring out the tabs like without looking.
Yeah.
No, this asshole, he played Guitar Hero so fucking much over his lifetime. Yeah, and it just has running tab over the top of it for Man in the Box, Rooster.
And it helps it like a familiarity with the song as well, especially Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, look, like we got 2 game guitars right over there. We're ready
Shit,
to go at
man.
any given
this
moment.
dude just knocking it out.
I bet I can still play it on Expert too.
Is that right?
I tell you about my
Whoa.
nephew. Like the first time we played Guitar Hero, he like threw me the guitar and he put it on Expert. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Sounds like
he goes.
sounds like a gauntlet.
The gauntlet
His
has
words
been
were
thrown,
shut up and play, and
dude.
he looked me dead in the eye, and I'm like, okay.
I have a Guitar Hero clone on here called Clone Hero,
That
and
sounds rad.
I have about 400 custom songs on it.
Unless you assholes have a little fun later, because that shit well beyond what I'm capable of. Although I can play Rock Band and Brandon can't, so.
That thing don't click. All right, that Explorer over there, which is worth about $130, which blows my mind, clicks. I gotta have the click. I gotta have a click track.
Oh, I thought you meant the guitar clicks. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
what- that's
yeah,
what
you-
meant.
you strum
the-
down.
Oh
on-
yeah, when you
yeah.
strum it with no amp connected.
Rock
Yeah,
rock
clicks a
band,
lot.
rock band guitar, no click.
There's no click at all.
Guitar Hero guitar, it's a click, and it feels like you're hitting something. That's why I like it.
Are you familiar with the Epiphone Black Beauty EX or not EX Explorer guitar? Anyway, it's a solid black Explorer guitar. And my brother got one, and I loved the shit out of it. And then one day for my birthday, he just gave it to me.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, oh, that's amazing. I would go at home and plug it in, and the fucking thing, like one of the pickups, he put Seymour Duncan's on it. Like if you have the volume, I mean, where it's listenable, suddenly it cranks up super loud.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the pickups, but I was wondering if I could probably get them changed one day or something. Put in some nice generic humbuckers.
Yep.
Something really shitty and cheap.
Well, I was getting ready to say, it's like, God damn, I have Epiphone doing an Explorer. At least that they're owned by Gibson, so at least
They won't get
at least
sued.
They're not going to get some massive lawsuit laid on them.
I used to call them Epiphany. And it's like, no, Epiphone. I'm like, I know my words,
It's the
and then I
same-
was wrong.
I know what I said.
With ESP,
Go listen to Ramstein.
with ESP, you cannot. Oh boy,
Sorry.
Call back. I love it.
self-deprecating shit right there.
I love it.
Yeah, the ESP, aside from Hetfield's signature line, you're not going to probably be able to find an actual Explorer, a real Explorer body. They've got one that looks similar. But if you go back about 8 years ago, their EX series, they're all Explorers. You know, I'm pretty sure they got a cease and desist coming out of Nashville from Gibson. But
yeah.
I wish I knew what year this guitar is. I have to look that up. But
I was getting ready to say it might be worth something. No, it's still owned by Gibson. You got to have a rebellious one. So if it's a non-Gibson product that looks like an Explorer, you might be sitting on something.
It also was kind of heavy too, because I remember I was carrying that bastard around without a case, and I was like, my arm is asleep.
Without a case, you just walk around some rock star, like grabbing it right to the bolt-on.
Yeah, I grabbed it right where the neck meets the body, and I was like, my fucking arm is asleep, and that's not cool.
I need that thing later.
That's right. Wait, what?
Well, you know, for all things good.
Gonna be like the people around this town walking around with guitars on their back.
That's my picking arm.
Damn.
I saw your little friend today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's
walked down one of the main thoroughfares here in town with a guitar on his back. I didn't realize he looked like Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
He does have the complexion of the man. Now that you have that, I'm not going to be able to get it out of my fucking head. Damn it. Yeah.
Fly.
Well, as everybody know, I do work at a cannabis store. And there's a local, call him a local. Oh, I'm fine. A local with no money that just walks streets. You know, they're out there. I'm sure Clovis has them. Actually, I've seen them, Clovis. They're out there.
Oh, yeah, we got quite a few.
Yeah. But this one has a guitar on his back. And he just walks in. And we have an open door policy at this dispensary. It's not like one where you have to ring a doorbell, show an ID, walk in. But I also, I don't know if you remember it, I've used it a few times for cover photos for the show. It's just a cheap-ass guitar with a weed leaf on it.
I think I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
Green and white
Oh, yeah, I've
guitar,
seen that.
Yeah. And I decided, that was from my previous employer, and I said, fuck that. If you're just going to be taking this shit back to your house to put in a storage room to rot, let me have that guitar. And so it's now on display in the lobby of the place I work now.
You got a new job along with Brandon.
And you know, if there's some slow time, I can sit in that little waiting area, pick up that guitar, and pluck a little bit. Makes a day go by. It's a good thing. This guy comes in and immediately just like turns to the right, sees this fun guitar, and disappears. There's also like a little bit of a privacy fence curtain thing, rice paper and whatnot. And he just other like, bang, 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 bang. He has a guitar, but he doesn't know how to play guitar.
Ah, okay.
That's what's weird.
That is a little bizarre.
If he fucking picked that guitar up and started shredding on it, I would have been, I'd been far more receptive to the idea of this guy fucking with my guitar. But he didn't. And the guitar he had on his back had 2 strings on it.
That's all you need.
Damn.
So all he needs is he just plays AC/DC songs, and that's it.
Well, maybe you
Were they
got
the bottom two? The fat two or the skinny
They
two?
were the fat two.
Okay, he's a rhythm guitarist. Or a bassist. Down on his luck.
found it in a dumpster. It's mine. This shit is mine.
I was trying to look at the neck to see what kind of guitar it was, and I think it was one we used to sell when I worked at Hastings in like 07.
Sweet Lord. I remember
One of those
Hastings.
$80 guitars.
Got into the music business, yeah.
That's
I
right.
was just thinking about Hastings today because I was thinking about all the shit I used to buy. I was like, I bought my first PlayStation games there. I bought my first album there.
I miss what
holy
Hastings
shit.
used to be before they jumped the shark and fucking utterly killed their own business. But
Yeah, me
back,
too.
Back when it was like just books and music and T-shirts and shit. And,
Yeah,
and-
books,
and
music,
movies.
games.
marijuana paraphernalia.
They
Bought my first DVD sets
they
from there.
brought in the rental aspect, which was fine. It was something not really needed in a fucking genre in an industry that was already slowly dying.
True.
Yeah.
Then they had a coffee shop and shit. Well, and then they decided, no, we're getting rid of that. Get rid of the coffee shop. They jam everything together like Walmart, make the fucking walkway of the aisles really narrow. Decide they're going to start selling shitty music instruments. Decide they're going to start selling TVs and fucking stereos. Like, what the? You're not Best Buy. You're not. I don't know who you think you are, but you're not.
Got your fingers in too many puddings there, Hastings.
Speaking of finger and pudding, that is the
Holy
the
shit,
first
okay,
place.
I'm glad I didn't tell you that drink yet. Holy piss! I was gonna.
Kevin almost blew beer foam all over the microphone.
That
man.
was the first
Shit.
time I ever got paid an hourly wage to bang somebody on the job.
Oh, like a porn star.
In the back, I worked in the back. I worked in receiving.
you did.
Oh, well, see, the thing about the back, there's a further back.
Okay.
A little room they never use. And that's where everybody went that worked together to go do fuck stuff. You know, the good times.
Yeah, the back room has a back room, a.k.a. broom closet.
Everybody that worked at Hastings between 2006 and 2008 were all banging each other.
Well, I've made the point on here before. It's like, what do people in their 20s do? They fuck a lot.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Boy, howdy. I miss those days, man.
30s, it's like, well, I got some standards.
I lived
now.
on Sheldon Street in Clovis, New Mexico. Worked at Hastings. Banged who I wanted
to
to.
listen to reports of gunfire through the night. Well, that was a long time
Well,
ago.
the gnarliest it ever got, because we lived on the 1100 block of Sheldon, was there was a hostage situation in the alleyway, and it was snowing. It was very diehardian. It's very cool.
I used to live on Sheldon.
Yeah, I would go. I would buy that house if I was rich. I'd buy that house and I would have it airlifted here, and I would live in it.
Well, they do actually move fucking houses, right? Not airlift, but I mean, somebody will find a house built in the 1930s or some shit, and they're like, oh, the next thing you know, they're like pulling foundation blocks out from there. They got a flatbed semi. They're like, what are they doing? They're not moving this piece of shit.
Oh my God, they're moving that house.
I've actually seen houses relocated like that. A girl that I knew, actually, her brother, they moved their house from, God, what was it, like on Gidding to somewhere else in Clovis. And I was like, that house used to be on Gidding. She was like, yeah, they moved it. I'm like, no shit. Brick by brick? She goes, no, they just took the whole thing. I'm like, how in the fuck do you get a whole house?
They got the world's largest forklift.
Got a bunch of people with wheelbarrows.
There are a whole lot of people.
That was a good
I'm
Trump.
gonna get too political, but yeah.
So they took their
People
their
get
home,
angry,
right?
man. People
My
get
Trump is impeccable.
Our tribalism is shitty in this country right now.
It is insane, ridiculous. Like there's a whole cult Trump, like Trump cult and shit.
Yeah, and the anti-Trump cult too. I mean, if you make a
pretty
joke,
ridiculous.
if you make a joke, somebody goes, "I guess I know how you're voting." No, you fucking don't, because I'm probably not going to vote because they're all assholes. Fuck
Yeah, you don't know if I'm voting or not.
I'm not.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, that's it. Well, you know what? I will. I'm going to vote against somebody.
Whatever whatever candidate says they're going to vote for federal marijuana legalization, I'll vote for them.
Fun fact, Afro Man was actually running to be in this election. I wanted to vote for him, but I don't think he's on there anymore. So what the fuck, Afro Man?
He did a political run through in Muleshoe recently.
I was like, I really want to vote for this motherfucker. We need Afro Man. Afro Man for president.
Because I got high.
2024/420.
Now, okay,
Play that.
bonus points. Name another song you did.
Another song he did. Crazy. What the fuck is this song called? Damn it. Mississippi.
I'll take it because I couldn't name one.
am I
You
gonna verify?
could be making that up, and I'd still believe it because I don't know of any other song.
Name another one. All right, yeah. I'll just make some
Bill's Grab Bag.
Corner Lights.
Well, you got to remember who it is, though. It's probably some blunt something.
Smoky Thoughts.
That's right. Speed of thoughts.
Speaking of Smoky Thoughts,
Speed of smoky thoughts. It's time to get the lowdown of what's going down with LJ.
this is going to be awesome.
Moment of truth. Give me my need for metal. Yeah. Woo. And now for the segment nobody asked for, but you got anyway. It's the metal portion of the Mead for Metal podcast. And LJ's on the show, so now I'm going to have two co-hosts
This is awesome.
instead of none.
We're not trying to jump in too much, but it's still your shit. So,
All right,
yeah.
cool. So we're going to go ahead and list these off. The first band on this list is Castle with the album Evil Remains. Now, if you guys want some heavy metal or some doom that sounds badass, these are the guys you need to check out. I actually walked into the house and Kevin was like, yo, check this shit out.
Yeah.
Props.
Banging shit.
And then he showed me this band and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool too. So next on this list, we've got God
the Throne.
God Dethroned. The album is called The Judas Paradox. I have to say, that's probably one of the coolest album names I've seen in a good long time.
That ain't bad.
When Brandon ended up dropping knowledge, they've been around a while. I'm like, okay. I was
And-
somebody's going to say 6 or 8 years.
They are one of those
Like
long-tiered
30
bands.
years. God damn.
Good Lord. There's a band like that I did last time. I was like, oh, these guys must be like really new. No, they're from the 70s. Jesus, I'm out of the loop. So if you wonder what these guys are, they are melodic death metal. And yeah, they're very sinister too. So if you're into that dark, evil, fast shit that all sounds the same, this is your cup of tea. Or arsenic, whatever you drink.
Delicious.
Next up, we're going to go to God is an Astronaut, which I believe he is. The album is called Embers, and the album cover looks badass. It's like a tree on fire, but then it like mirrors down to the roots below. It's fucking cool. I would like that as a poster.
There's no
That
way
is
those
actually
guys
really
use
cool.
cannabis, right? There's no way.
Yeah, they're burning the wrong kind of trees. This is pretty good. It's post metal. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it sounded pretty
After
rocky to me.
metal.
So
It's a lot of screaming and weird shit, ambience.
it's like whenever they say alternative rock, what's the alternative to rock? Not rock, right? I mean,
Well, that's
Yeah.
what they were like. They try to like put an overall tag on grunge with that. It's not accurate.
No.
Post metal. It's like a downfall of Gaia.
Right.
I like that band until the vocals fired up. I'm like, okay, I'm out. Post metal, I'm done with. All right.
they described me as post thrash at work. I was like, no. I still do thrash.
I am that.
I'm still in that wheelhouse.
I'm that and many other things rolled into a ball of toilet paper. All right, next band is Many Eyes. The album is called The Light Age. And as lame as it sounds, it's actually hard rock / metalcore. So if you're into that shit, I think this is definitely for you.
Lawnmower music.
Yeah, something to blot out the kids and dogs with. And I'm gonna list this as the last one on here. The band is called Pure Reason Revolution. The album is Coming Up to Consciousness, and there's some weird dog on the cover. Anyways, this is the kind of music that makes my brain sad. It's progressive rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Math music.
It's that prog shit. So if you're down on your calculus, then this is probably not going to help you out. And that's all I've got for this week. What do you guys got?
I listened to the new 40 Watt Sun album today,
Pray tell, cousin.
and it made me sad.
Did you throw a rope over the shower curtain rod, did you?
I was in my shop getting everything ready for the end, but then the album ended, thank God, and I felt better.
Then Hillary Clinton walked in, and I was like, oh, okay, you're here to let me out. She's like, no, bang.
I went back and started listening to Warning. It's like, okay, I love depressing music, but at least this has fucking metal to it.
Yeah.
The first track is really good. Everything else is what I expected.
We have a discussion point coming on something brand new, but hey, man, we got to check in with our favorite fucking meats.
Oscar Mayer winners.
Class attention. Forward march. Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. A big parade is so inspiring. Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I never want to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, there would soon be nothing left of me. Oh, I love to be an
Oscar Mayer wieners are all meat, all good meat. Rich and complete meat protein, mildly seasoned to bring out all the good meat flavor.
Everyone would be in love with me. Next week, you handle just the refreshments, Freddie.
No, Chester.
Sounds
Was
like
it good for you?
sounds like Chester Bennington got kicked in the balls.
Oh, I don't know if you're supposed to reference that guy.
Oh, he's
Yowza.
dead. That's right. You can't talk about him anymore. He's
Hey,
dead.
Too soon, man. Give it another 2 years.
It's only been 8 years.
Dead and unemployed now.
Isn't that a Stone Temple Pilots song? No, wait.
Dead and bloated, yeah.
Same thing.
Very close.
Oh, yeah, we like that song. God.
That was like 3 Chester slams in like 10 seconds.
Linkin Park got a new singer, and it ain't a man.
I love it. She's hot and sings good. And also, I'm new to this.
Brandon and I
sound.
both laughed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Linkin Park debuting their new singer. Let's check this out." And I know how evil he is, and I know how evil I am. Like, we're gonna talk massive shit about this dumb bimbo thinking
She can't
can
hear you.
sing. Motherfucker! It took like 2 minutes, and I'm standing with my jaw wide open. Like, oh goddamn, she's good.
Yeah, she is. I actually like her voice. She reminds me of.
Chester.
Well, I was gonna say like kind of reminds me of damn it. I want to
Lizzie
say
Hale.
Nightwish, but not Nightwish.
Hailstorm
fucking-
Girl.
Thank you, Lizzie Hale.
Lizzie
Yeah.
Hale. Yeah, because she
Lizzie
can do
had-
the same thing.
Yeah, Lizzie Hale's got like daggers in her voice when she sings. I love it, like that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe she could cover Linkin Park, I guess. But I know for a fact this chick can. Holy
Oh yeah,
shit.
and you know that's always a point. Now I'm not being an asshole,
You're entitled to an opinion.
but I think it's great. Like when Stone Temple Pilots, when Waylon died after the second time he came back to the band, and they got a new singer. That dude has one job, and it is to sound like Scott Waylon and act like Scott Waylon. That's his job. The Delio brothers, they got everything else covered.
Right.
William Duvall gets recruited in Alice in Chains.
Happy birthday, William.
That's right. Had to get him in there. He comes into Alice in Chains. This motherfucker can write music. He can play guitar, and he has a very similar stage presence. If anything, he has more of a stage
like
presence than
Journey.
Lane Staley ever did.
It takes all the argument out of Lane Staley fans, though. Like, oh, but it was so much better when Lane, like, motherfucker, you're getting a guitar player, a guy that can sing. Oh, I don't know, mostly like Lane. His harmonies with Jerry work the same, and he doesn't have a heroin habit. So, you know.
Yeah, he's a shaman for fuck's sake.
Shit,
he
man, we
smokes
went-
the reef.
When we went and saw Journey, like I had no idea they had a new vocalist for
Oh,
several years.
The Asian
Filipino?
dude.
Yeah, and-
He's Filipino, sir.
Oh, my bad.
oh shit. Anyways, anyway, yeah. Went and
they're
saw the
Asian,
concert,
too.
and
They're
I was
okay.
like, wow,
They
I've
know
never
they're
seen.
Asian. That's fine.
Yeah,
But he does fucking sound just like Steve
yeah, he
Perry.
does. It's eerie how close he sounds to their.
And he
original-
knows that is his job.
Yep. That's amazing.
I really wish Linkin Park, one, didn't come back with their original drummer either, which not a lot of people are talking about apparently. It's like, man, Linkin Park back. What happened to the drummer? Why do you have a new singer and drummer? The drummer didn't die, did he?
That's why you don't fly American.
I'm just bummed out. Well, one, I was well out of the Linkin Park fandom while Chester was alive. The first two albums are my bag. Those are my bag. Everything else after that, it just didn't hit for me.
I like the first one a lot.
Is it
That's
like a
about it.
weird, sweet nostalgia then? It's like, oh, this is just like the Linkin Park I used to really enjoy. Oh, fuck, I forgot. I really didn't like them too much, and that's been a while now.
Like
Yeah.
the first album, I liked almost every song, and then like
Hybrid
after
Theory
that, I
and
was just like,
Meteora are the two.
Meteora, thank you. I couldn't even remember the name of the second album. I can remember the
Now,
remix name.
I'm the asshole. I do like, 10,000
10,000 Suns, yeah.
There's
I get it.
there's some stuff I don't mind, but I got to be in the right mood for it. And man, that mood doesn't hit me very often at all. What this edition does, it brings back Linkin Park and they able to tour and be able to do the shit
Sure.
that they've had. I appreciate that higher.
Yeah, and they're doing a new album with her. I mean, that wasn't just like, hey, we did a song. That's part of a full album coming out. They kind of did the whole Metallica thing, where they got the single out, they announced the album, and they announced a tour.
fuck yeah.
Only Linkin Park one upped them and did a concert as well. Yeah, that'd be great.
Grab a beer.
I love
All right,
beer.
Cool.
But that's really the only thing that really bums me out. It's like, man, you had an opportunity to get someone that not only could fill that void but contribute.
Yeah, could do
Rob-
more than just one role.
Robert Trujillo became the bass player of Metallica in 2003. And that dude did not start getting writing credits till Hardwired.
Yeah.
And
What's up
even
with
on
that shit?
72 Seasons, there I can't Sleepwalk My Life Away, that bass intro, that motherfucker wrote it.
I think they fucked up on Death Magnetic because they were like, we're going to split the credit 4 ways no matter who wrote the song. Well, who do I credit this riff to? Because I like the shit out of this riff. And, that kind of takes away from Robert, too, because, just putting his name on all of it, I don't know.
Yeah. Death Magnetic had a lot more weight, though, as becoming the apology album, in my opinion.
I see that one as bridging the gap between Justice and the Black Album. That's always
Yeah.
been me, though.
I feel like because I know Saint Anger is one of your favorites.
Yeah. But I actually have it in a little lesser regard now because I've been listening to a lot of like Death Magnetic.
Right. Man, the last 3 albums are this motherfucker's
Fuck yeah.
favorite 3 albums.
That's the best.
I'm not gonna lie, new Metallica kicks ass.
Man, old Metallica fans will hate you for saying I found out, but
You can exclude Saint Anger. I'm cool with
But
that. I don't
that's
give a shit.
no, but I'm okay with that because it's like, man, you're supposed to like. I'm supposed to like what sounds good, and what sounds fucking good are my top 3 Metallica albums of all time, which in order is 72 Seasons, Hardwired, and Death Magnetic.
Have you ever heard the Lulu album?
Yeah,
I-
but
I've
that now
played a
that's
few
not
songs
that
on
doesn't
it.
count. I was told by a fan. I was told by a fan that doesn't count.
That's a Lou Reed.
In my opinion, it doesn't count.
It's a
and-
Lou Reed album.
Yeah, it's a Lou Reed album. And the thing that pisses me off about it is that Metallica was so gung-ho about it. Like, they were like, oh, well, if you guys don't like it, well, fuck you guys. And I'm like, we don't like it because it sounds like shit, not because you're working with Lou fucking Reed. Lou Reed can do his own thing. Lou Reed's shit sucks on his own. But
He don't need
Metallica
help.
sucking with Lou Reed is even worse. Stop it.
I don't know that song where fucking Hetfield just says over and
I
over
am a
again,
table.
"I am the table." I am the table.
The first lyric I heard off of Lulu was Lou Reed going, I'll cut off my tits and blah, 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 blah. I was like, what? This is what you're starting with?
So where are you at? Pre-Black album stuff.
Justice is my top.
That is okay.
Yeah, Justice is my favorite Metallica album. Then, in terms of like the order of those four? Or what?
No, but because the thing is, the Black album is a dividing line.
Yeah. That's what the fan base broke over.
Some would
That's-
argue Justice is a dividing line.
Ride the Lightning, even,
Wow,
the
really?
ballad Fade to Black. Like, I heard that, like, the fans were freaking the hell out because there was a ballad on the album. And then eventually it's everyone's favorite song.
What about Master of Puppets?
Master of Puppets. Here's the deal. I used to think it was overrated as hell. I'm not
Okay.
going to lie. But also, I thought it was a new album when I first heard it because I bought it in 2006. That's whenever I became a Metallica fan.
You got
Ride
it
the
20
Lightning.
years later.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning was the album that made me a Metallica fan. I'd listened to the Black Album before
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, like, I started buying the albums one after the other. The next one I bought was Master of Puppets. I take it home, like, this is the fucking best shit ever. I wonder when it was made. Look in the booklet, 1986. I'm like,
Yeah.
so it was made just after this one I just listened to. All right, cool.
Old Kev was still in high school.
That's right.
Dang.
I was 4.
Shitting his pants, much like he does now.
That's right.
It doesn't sound anything like an 80s album to me. Like, you could play a song from it now and I think it was some new shit.
See, but and the weird thing with me is thrash.
Yeah.
When I went ahead and my taste kind of evolved out of punk into something else. Well, that something else was grunge, and when that moved from grunge, it was straight up metal, but it wasn't 80s thrash. So realistically, for me, that whole era of when thrash was at its greatest, from 86 to 92, I was out. I wasn't even in. The Black Album made me kind of a casual fan of Metallica. Death Magnetic brought me in.
Yeah, the Black Album got me into playing guitar because Enter Sandman was the first song that I learned.
Lightning Hopkins and his liquor got me into playing guitar.
Nothing Else Matters was the first one I learned just because it's all open
Hey, that's fair.
at the beginning.
Yeah,
That was the second
I know
song I
how to
learned.
play most of this.
There
Song.
you go. There you go. So you are 72 Seasons, and you put, so it's 72 Seasons, Hardwired, and Death Magnetic.
Yeah,
I have to say the 72 Seasons is probably my favorite also, actually.
any album that has Spit Out the Bone on it is going to be a little fucking hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but damn it, that's on a double album.
Yeah,
That's the only reason that, like, I would, in your rankings, I would swap Death Magnetic and Hardwired.
kind of. But man, I think there are more hits on, because just by the quantity. But there are more hits on Hardwired.
Yeah.
I mean, Unforgiven 3 is certainly,
yeah.
Still sing that one,
that's
yeah.
on Death Magnetic. That's fucking huge. But man, when you get into that second album, or the second side of the two-parter of what is Hardwired,
Yeah.
fuck me, that you start getting some real, like, oh shit.
I can't argue with that. You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or any of that, or Injustice.
Fair enough.
But you get the vibes from all of those throughout that entire double album.
Yeah. And also, check this out. Have you ever thought of the Black Album Load and Reload as a trilogy? In my brain, they're a trilogy.
No.
So whenever I was actually putting together a playlist called Download, or the Load That Should Have Been. And so it had load and reload songs, and I was, picking and choosing my favorites. And then I was like, I want to do this with Hardwired and 72 Seasons. Hardwired, I could cut about maybe 6-7 songs and have like the ones I love. 72 Seasons, I don't know what the fuck to cut. I like them all.
That's a valid fucking point, right?
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell to get
So
rid of.
It's hilarious to me whenever I see like Metallica fans. They're like my age and older, angry about 72 Seasons and like, well, this list would have been fine, but you had to mention that album. It's like, why don't you go fuck yourself? That's an amazing fucking metal album, and I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, I see that too. There's a lot of people coming around saying anger also, but there's like an equal amount of people avalanching them with fuck yous.
Look, I do daily battle on social media with Alice in Chains fans over the Lane Staley shit. I had never really waded into the Metallica stuff. Worst fan base in metal. I am sorry. The absolute fucking
Metallica
worst.
fans are toxic as shit.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of gatekeeping too. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you have to listen to this album first, and then this one." Nah, fuck that shit.
You know what
Listen
you
to
do?
whatever sounds
Listen
good.
to what
man.
you want to listen to.
I hop right in
Exactly.
and be like, Load's like my second favorite Metallica album of all time.
Load, in my opinion,
Who
has
wants
the
to fight
best
about it?
production quality. It's sharp as hell.
Well, that's the funny fucking thing, that those songs were all recorded at the same time.
Yeah.
They're meant to be that double album.
I do like Reload more. That's more of the rocking album, and Load's
Yeah.
more the introducing you into what they're getting into.
Yeah, but Reload does have a couple of like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I'm just
Hey,
going to step away
I
until
love-
shit ain't so weird.
I love Low Man's lyric.
Oh jeez. Whenever I heard 2x4, I was like, because I listened to Load. It was around the same time I listened to Master Puppets and stuff, and I was like, oh shit! Like every second track on a Metallica album is epic. I wonder what's gonna go on Load. And I heard 2x4, and I was like, I want to die right now. Why?
I listened to
groovy.
Reload, and I thought, well, this isn't all that great. Clearly, they're going to do much better going forward.
Well, they did. They put out Garage Inc. and S&M.
Oh, I forgot
So-
about that.
so
I was,
nothing
I was
could
actually
possibly
talking
go
shit
wrong.
about Saint Anger, but yeah.
And then Saint Anger comes along.
the Saint Anger is the next studio album.
Yeah.
God, that
And if
fucking
you-
that
What are,
album.
what are your thoughts on Garage Inc.?
Garage Inc. I loved it. I loved the older stuff more than the newer stuff, but I have to say that I love Whiskey in the Jar. I don't know why, but I have a huge boner for that song.
So's Hetfield.
It's a thing where I almost prefer their version of some of the covers than the actual song itself.
Turn the Page, definitely.
Yeah, Bob Seger's an asshole.
Bob Seger can go fuck himself. God damn it.
oh yeah, fuck Bob Seger. I'm talking
I
about the
gotta
song.
say,
yeah.
the first thing that comes on, if I'm listening to like a classic rock station and I hear like Turn the Page or any of that shit come on, man, I am hitting the immediate. Nope, we're going somewhere. I'll listen to country music before I listen.
I listen to the whole thing, but I'll prefer the Metallica version.
Their cover of Astronomy.
I like
yes.
BOC.
I get that. I understand.
BOC's.
But
That's
I've been listening Metallica's Astronomy for a solid 20 years before I heard the regular version here.
yeah, but I think
Same.
it really fills in some gaps of what realistically is supposed to be the mood of that song. And
Yeah.
Metallica's only got they got two speeds, off and fucking heavy.
I think I like
Right.
the singing of that song more than the heavy parts of the guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
We'll throw in BOC for you after we get in here because
Which version of that song? There are two versions, even from Blue
Show me
Oyster.
both.
the original studio.
I like the hey.
Well, you'll get that. You'll get that because it's the 70s. You know.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Man, goddamn.
Oh,
So let's see.
jeez.
I think we've covered all the Metallica we need to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other bands that we can discuss or
Uh,
ruminate on? I'm
what are your,
very uncultured.
Where are you at on AC/DC?
I love AC/DC. I got to say this. I don't think that Axl Rose could be a good singer. I'm probably out of the loop. He's probably been out of the replacement for Brian for a while, but
Well, I take up the Lane Staley argument. It's like, well, when Bon Scott died, they should have probably went ahead and killed those brothers and buried them with him like they used to do dogs in the Viking era.
see, I heard Brian before I heard Bon Scott.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I heard Back in Black first, and then I went backwards and I listened to like
Yeah, if you want
Highway
blood,
to Hell.
you got it. Was the Bon Scott? I get it. When you get AC/DC fans that are talking about, it's like, man, Brian Johnson's never going to be that guy. No, but you shouldn't have that expectation on anybody. I've never been a fan of that band because I feel like if I can pick up a guitar and learn your entire new record inside of 30 minutes, probably, it's probably not great.
I'm still having trouble with AC/DC riffs.
Really?
Yeah, some of them, not a lot of them, but like Back in Black, I used to be able to play that. There's a YouTube video where I tried playing it.
Well, the farther
Yeah.
back you go, the more that you're going to really find that the guitar licks are a little more complicated. But man, they became a parody themselves by the time you get into the early 80s.
My
and
favorite
mid-80s.
quote is actually from Angus Young. He goes, "People say that we've made the same album 12 times. That's a complete lie. We've made it 13 times."
Yeah. You know,
Love that shit.
And I liked Malcolm better anyway. And then once he died, it's like, man. And then they like fired
sucks
Brian
how he
Johnson
died,
and
too,
brought
man.
him back. And then they, and then it's like, wait a minute. There's some there's some fuckery afoot here. and
Gross.
it turns out that it's Angus. Angus is the problem.
Oh yeah.
But
He's the Adam Jones of the band.
But goddamn, that guy can play some guitar.
Adam Jones, I agree. Let's move on.
What have you?
Actually, the interesting thing is LJ and I have something pretty much in common in a big way, and that's fandom of Iron Maiden, but for very different reasons and very different eras.
Interesting. What's your favorite Iron Maiden album?
Power Slave.
Oh, duh, that's right. Yeah.
I saw that one live.
I remember you
on
telling
tour,
me.
Yeah, I saw them live touring with that one. That was the one where they had Rat and Wasp were the openers.
Oh yeah.
The Fuck Like a Beast tour.
There you go. Well, if you're going to see Wasp, it's got to be during that time,
Yeah,
right?
otherwise Blackie Lawless is just Blackie Ballless.
Yeah, well,
Blackie Balls.
these days he's looking
Very ballless.
quite merrily.
Little neutered.
Let's move on beyond, because I think we've only talked about metal today. Actually, LJ shows up with a
Old Nintendo game.
relic.
for
An
the
old,
NES.
brand new fucking Nintendo game.
Yeah, they sent it to me so I could test this bastard out. It's Resident Evil for the old Nintendo, for the NES.
And
So
you
you
still
didn't pay
have
for
a
that?
rockin' Nintendo?
You bet your ass I do. I even modded that bitch.
That's what I like about LJ. He is a retro gamer. Like, I mean, you've been posting shit of playing on your Game Boy,
Yeah.
and it looked like you were playing some home
In fact, I
brews
did
on that as well.
Did some Frankenstein shit recently too. Like I got my Game Boy Color in a new case and I put a glass screen on it today.
Not on.
Modding everything.
Damn, man.
But yeah, they all play European and Japanese shit. I just made sure that they would.
That's a little fucking
That's all right.
them.
That's fucking all
Because I've
right.
always talked about it. I was like, man, why are Brits always so much into retro gaming? No. They're not. They're into like the early 2000s and late 2000s shit. Oh, no. LJ got a whole different bag of tricks.
Europeans got all of the shit late too, which is kind of funny and also sad, but mostly funny.
Yeah. You playing anything newer, or are you primarily just retro?
I played new stuff. I've been going on the most recent I've been playing is Xbox One because my PS4
The
broke.
Bone.
Yep, X-Bone, yes. But I've been playing like Tomb Raider, the remake one on it, the what year did it
Rise
come out?
of the Tomb
2016?
Raider or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
trilogy.
good
Legends
shit.
was my favorite
The
though.
one that doesn't look like polygon titties?
Yeah, they weren't sharp enough to give you an eye injury.
No, the new Lara Croft is clearly a B cup.
Yeah. Well, you got to do that so that way the audience doesn't start getting all angry. at
Dies
each other.
far more horribly in those games, so I know
Oh
that.
Jesus, yeah. If you look up a
It's pretty
reel on
disturbing, yeah.
YouTube, you could just find
It's
an entire
disturbing.
like
So they-
playlist of death scenes.
So they have kept the mantra of 70s horror filmmaking. It's like, if you ain't got no tits, you're going to die.
Pretty much.
And then it's like, well, if you show your tits, you're gonna die.
Hell, they even had a Friday the 13th game. You could play as a camper, just
Yeah.
working together, or you could work as
I own
Jason
that
and just
game,
murder
yeah.
everyone
I
yourself.
think I gave it to this guy.
Oh, I lost my
No,
Switch
no,
too.
Wait, because you're an Xbox guy.
No,
I
I got it on gold.
gave that to Lexi. That's right. Yeah,
I love it.
I
I've never played it online. I will occasionally just fire it up, get some bot campers in there, and go murder them. It's a good stress reliever.
Oh, yeah, I played it about like twice online, and I was a camper both times, and it was pretty stressful. Like you're hiding and shit and hoping he doesn't find you, and then he finds you.
Yeah, I'd rather just be Jason.
It's
Jason Voorhees.
fun
That
as hell to be
sounds like a
Jason.
Dutch painter from the 17th century.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
How much do I owe you, Jason? 100.
No me that
Your
neck.
100
Give me that
what?
neck.
100 heads.
Shit. We watch. Well, goddamn, you're a big horror fan.
Hell yeah, I am.
Where are you at on the? So we're like 7 weeks out from Halloween. Are you already in that mode?
My wife is counting down the days,
You're-
actually, literally on her channel.
You're, white women have a thing with Halloween that I can't get my head around, but you're not a white woman, so
I might as well be. I like pumpkin guys. Bleh. She got me into pumpkin spice, and now I'm like watching horror movies in the summer, which I've been doing since I was little.
I would get a hold of Lulac immediately. Yeah, I don't know guys that get fired up for Halloween until you're in October.
Shit,
Now-
I've been hyped about it since November 1st.
Really?
Yeah.
Like since okay.
Yeah.
So you're a year-round Halloween guy. All right.
So
Yeah.
Halloween, your favorite holiday?
I think it's pretty cool because it's such a bonkers holiday.
And let's also keep in mind this motherfucker wearing a jack-o'-lantern T-shirt right now.
Exactly,
There's that.
yeah. Bam,
There's
right on my
that.
chest.
I've had some smoke. I feel like I just realized that.
As soon as I saw this shirt, I bought it. I was like, I need this fucking shirt.
Someone clambered out of that carriage he arrived in.
I wish if it glowed in the dark, I would try to scare people. I'd just like show up and open a coat and you just see the face.
All right, far out. Wrestling fan, yes or no?
Yes, but not lately. I haven't
No,
seen
back
any.
in the day. That's the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
The Attitude Era.
Attitude Era. There it is. I knew it was
Don't
coming.
go
There it is.
Steve Austin and all that other shit.
He raised me as a teenager.
Jeez.
And I believe that, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Break a beer
have-
can in your head.
I didn't have fucking the ability to watch wrestling. I lived out in the sticks. We had 3 fucking channels
Yeah.
until you could go to Walmart and buy a DirecTV kit for like $30.
Shit, I should bought the DVDs because that was cheap.
They were, but I was like, man, I want to watch Raw. I want to watch all the rest. I want to watch Nitro because I was more of a WCW guy, like at the beginning. And pointing this motherfucker to the sky to try to find a signal for this direct fucking TV. Because it's not like you call a direct TV guy and have them come out and do it for you. There was no direct TV guy. You set up yourself, you call them, be like, this is all my information. Give them like $50 and you get to watch TV. I got to watch live wrestling finally.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Good man.
And get to watch pay-per-views. They were $30 back then. Which honestly, back then, that's a lot of fucking
That's
money.
yeah,
That's a
you're
lot
talking
of
about
money.
25 years ago. That's a pile of money.
Yeah, like I got WrestleMania 14 for like $30. But I got to watch WrestleMania 14 live when Stone Cold won the belt.
I want
I was wearing my talking Stone Cold shirt, had 3 buttons on it, and a voice chip where you'd press it, and it would just be like glass breaking or him saying that's bottom line.
I whooped your ass.
You wouldn't believe how much pussy I got with this shirt because I'd be lying. I didn't get any.
Yeah.
They're like, look, he's wearing a Stone Cold shirt. Let's just walk the other way.
Funny thing is, now I might get a little pussy for it.
And 1990,
They're like, here's a kitten.
1993, UFC 1. I want to say that pay-per-view was $35 then.
UFC 1. Wow.
Yeah, I was
The
stationed out
very
in California, and my nephew and I thought we were getting like a fucking entire 12-hour day of fights. No, we did not.
In Southern
No,
California.
you ain't getting no prelims, sir.
No,
On
none
a
of that.
36 man fucking tournament.
Yeah, and they give like a rundown, and they narrow it down to 12 dudes. So I was like,
32.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know.
Like, well, damn, this is going to take like 3 hours. Some of those fights almost lasted an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
no
good
time
old
limits
days.
or any of that shit
The
back
good
then.
old days.
You guys ever been to an event like WrestleMania or anything like that? Like,
I went to a Raw when I lived in New York. I've been to a baseball game. I've been to a football game. I've been to a UFC fight.
I've heard from friends of mine that said, man, you like to drink. You need to go to a wrestling event. It's like, well, I'm not a fan of wrestling. They're like, no, that shit doesn't matter. You go and you just get in the mood of the building and you kind of tap into that.
right.
fuck
That
yeah.
energy.
Throw down a bunch of cups of beer and yell and talk shit and have a good time.
hell yeah.
I went, Clovis hosted Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA Wrestling.
TNA.
And I bought a front row seat for $90.
Goddamn.
Well, it's like, I don't have to drive 4 hours to this thing. I can take the gas money I save and enjoy this thing right. And it was right at the corner where the wrestlers came in and shit. And you'll appreciate this story because you're an Attitude Era boy. New Age Outlaws.
Uh-huh.
Billy Gunn was wrestling in TNA. He was the opening match with, oh God, who was it? Wrestler by the name of Abyss in TNA, but he was wrestling badass Billy Gunn. He was just Billy Gunn. He can't use the badass thing. WWF on that.
For the notoriety.
And I'm fucking front row just losing my mind because this is like a wrestler from my childhood or my teenage years. It wasn't fucking Ultimate Warrior or nothing.
Love that shit. That's cool.
But the greatest thing was Billy Gunn gets thrown over the top rope, like right in front of where I'm at. And I'm 3 beer deep. And this is the first wrestling match of the night. I had my first beer down when I was finding my seat. and he gets thrown over the top rope right in front of me, and I just start laughing my ass off. I was just it with joy. It wasn't even shit talking. And he gets up and looks at me and says, "What are you laughing at, fat boy?" And it didn't make me mad, but I went into pro wrestling mode. And I got out of my seat and looked at him like I was going to fuck him up.
Shit.
And he fucking begged off. He's like, "Oh, man, my bad. I didn't mean nothing by that." And then the wrestler grabbed him by the hair and pulled him back in the ring. Like, I felt like I helped him out.
You're like,
But after the wrestling match was over, and as he was leaving, like, I had to get up and I was just fucking standing ovation because this is a wrestler I've enjoyed since I was a fan of wrestling.
it's pretty cool seeing him live because it is really like a show. I saw SmackDown and Raw both in 2005. And
shit!
This is while Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero were still alive too.
Oh boy!
So I saw both of them.
And his family was still alive too, right?
Yeah, they were actually still alive too. Yeah, now that you mention it.
Man,
it's my kind of comedy. Awesome. But also, I went to WrestleMania 26.
No shit.
Yeah, and I'll never forget the one thing I could take away from there. We were behind a pole. Well, I could take two things from there. We were behind a pole, and also beer was $8.50.
27.
And I was like, I'm only having the one. I still have the bottle too.
That wasn't Shawn Michaels' retirement, was it?
I think it was, yes.
Where it was him and The Undertaker, and if he lost, he had to retire?
Yep. And he turned around and faced the crowd, and everyone just clapped for him.
Oh, shit. You got to see Shawn Michaels' last proper match. That's pretty fucking sick, John.
It was, actually.
Damn.
Well, we need to wrap this shit up. We're about out.
Yeah,
LJ.
Oh no,
let's talk about your. You're more than just a musician. Search out KBX band. That's where his music shit's at. Lowdown is your rap side. Are you doing anything with that?
Yes, actually, this year marks 15 years since my first rap album dropped. So I was thinking of doing something special for it, and I was like, oh shit, this is also 10 years since my first book came out. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I think I'm going to wait until later on to do more rap stuff. I'm just writing right now. And with the book thing, I'm rewriting my first book that I wrote.
Okay,
So
that's the next one. I was like, man, you're like writing, you do music, two different genres,
And
you know.
Also with that first book, I'm thinking of doing a soundtrack with it. And of course, the shit's going to be free. Yeah.
That's like some real Rob Zombie shit going
Hell
on
yeah.
there you got going on. Like
I've been planning that for a while.
multi-genre shit or multi-platform. Yeah.
So that would be kind of unique and also kind of cool. So
Anywhere to direct people to your shit?
The only place so far is KBX Band on YouTube. And
Yep. We always plug it in the description below.
the rap stuff can be found on the LJ Ruiz, RUIZ YouTube channel. I'll probably give you all the links and stuff like that.
Yep. It will be plugged.
Thank you for patronizing me, everybody.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. I'm glad you can join us again. Let's not like do this shit every like 5, 6, 7 years.
See you in 5 years, huh, Buck?
I'll have a slew of excuses, but I'll still show up. I always do.
Man, buy LJ's stuff. He's a good dude and a good musician. Puts out some good fucking music and everything else. And man, we'll see you assholes in about 2 weeks, huh?
Love you.